Welcome in or welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a collective read, and then I might do like a pick a card. I'm not really sure yet. We're gonna see how it goes. Okay. So I was guided to a reading where the topic is to determine the correct strategy and contingency plans moving forward. And what came out was basically Spirit saying there was this strategy, foresights, this map being laid out that ended up running into this oversight, delayed response, short-sightedness, and hollow victory due to some abuse of power, dictatorship, impulsiveness, arrogance by this King of Clubs in reverse. I believe it said it was a Sagittarius. Let's see. Who is this King of Clubs? So we got the Sun in Gemini in the 9th house with Aries and Taurus peeking out. Yeah, potentially somebody with like so we got like Pluto in reverse, Neptune in reverse peeking out, okay? And then we got Aries in reverse, Taurus sideways, landing near blood money. Then we got 9th house, 8th house, 5th house. 8th house and 5th house sideways, landing on top of the avoidance card. Avoidance, you keep finding the wrong door because you're afraid the right one will open. The mistake is a delay you invented. The detour is yours to end. Underneath this King of Clubs is the 5 of Hearts in reverse, which in this deck means collapse, instability, systemic failure, and rupture. The cracked pavement. Then we got the key to the city, a treasure well earned, is what the... Essentially, there was this energy for this, like, collective reckoning in the works here. And this King of Clubs was supposed to orchestrate the, what's the word? Supposed to orchestrate the giving of what was earned. And instead took some blood money and went off to their little office which Spirit is saying is under collapse, instability, systemic failure, and rupture. They were supposed to transform a gift from history. It required their deliberate engagement, and they chose to avoid doing that. And they also chose, let's see, there was a crossed wire here. Essentially, the messages of the reward that was well earned were blocked. The interference has become the only signal. You've mistaken chaos for communication. Untangle the wire before you transmit again. The communication is the medium, not the message. What do you want to say about this communication, Spirit? 5th house. Neptune, like, crossing. With Pluto and the Sun. Pluto being blocked. So it's like transformation. There's like illusions. There's illusions being had about this transformation, and the Scorpio also being blocked with the collective energy and the Cancer in the home. There's illusions being put on that this... I guess this is like basically how these... I want to say tyrannists? I don't know the word. Tyrannical psychopaths have been getting away with this shit. Is like the Matrix is cracked, or the you know, like in a video game, like, you know, like you have goals, right? And then like you fulfill the quests, the goals for the quests, and you fulfill the quests, and then you move on to the next level or whatever, and then at the end of the game you win or you lose, you know, depending on what happens. Well, this is saying it's a treasure, there's a treasure well earned, and the key to the city, which if you've been following along the whole thing with the city, you know, it's just layers upon layers here. And it's just a bunch of fuckery. Let's see, what else, Spirit? Devil's shoestring. Making your enemies trip. Landing on top of avoidance. If you know, you know. That's what Spirit's saying to do here. Anticlimax, impotence, interrupted will, and stagnation. Parking garage. Yeah, like they're parking. They're just avoiding moving forward. They're just trying to keep everything stuck and stagnant, and blocking what's going to come in. But what they don't realize is what's fated, what's meant to happen, they can't stop it. It's like trying to hold a door shut and there's a tsunami on the other side. How long do you fucking think you're going to hold the goddamn door shut? Not very long. Collapse. Mama Guy is pissed. I mean, have you been seeing all this, like, geological activity ramping up? Okay, so we got the wiretap in reverse, misinformation, confusion, bad intelligence, and paranoia. So that's like with the crossed wire. The interference has become the only signal. You've mistaken chaos for communication. Untangle the wire before you transmit again. The confusion is the medium, not the message. Need some clarity on this misinformation, confusion, bad intelligence, paranoia. Enshrined. You've been waiting so long in an empty room that you've forgotten what you were waiting for. The chair has become a shrine and you its keeper. Release the vigil. The buried letter. A truth was withheld at the moment it mattered most, and it has been composting underground ever since. It's ready to be exhumed. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was transformation. But that we have all this transformation stuff coming out in the blocked positions. But it's saying, like a truth was withheld at the moment it mattered most. It needs to be exhumed, frozen. The reflection has frozen into a version of yourself from another time. You are comparing yourself to a ghost of who you were and finding the ghost more real than the present. Release the earlier self with gratitude. That's like the problem here, is like whoever this is that's in control or whatever is like so hung up on being seen for what they are, who they think they are, who they were in the past. And it's like, no one gives a fuck. Just do the right thing, bro. Like, just do what you're supposed to do. Like, literally nobody cares. Just do the right thing. Jesus. Broken. The bone has been broken before it was ready to be emptied. You're carrying... What does that say? You're carrying the... I don't know what that says. Alright, so this is basically saying premature capacity is a form of harm. Rest the vessel before it's filled. Premature under that. You've declared dawn before it has arrived and must return to the dark. The premature light was hope dressed as fact. Sit again with the hour. It still has something to show you. But then under that is the distorted. You've been using a broken image of yourself as the definitive version. The crack isn't the truth, it's a distortion you're mistaking for revelation. Seek a cleaner surface before you judge what you see. Yeah, there's just something here about not seeing things for what they truly are. Refusing to move forward, refusing to, change this pattern. A card of doubt and warning. The worst card in the deck. Something you desire very much, you will shortly receive. So the card of doubt and warnings in the reverse. So there is no doubt that the worst card in the deck is going to give you something you desire very much, or something you desire very much you will receive shortly. Regarding like this worst thing, what are you talking about here, Spirit? Signifies a coffin. Who it is for depends on the other cards that are near. Landing on the 10 of clubs, anticlimax, impotence, interrupted will, and stagnation. So this King of Clubs, basically. Yeah, they're fucked, basically, is what I'm getting here. You know, you want to just keep being a fucking loser. Yeah, the arguments are over, the stubbornness, the quarrels. Spirit saying, watch your temper. We're not watching our tempers anymore. That's over. Shows a wavering, unsteady disposition in reverse. A woman of very fair complexion. In the upright, yeah. Yeah. The axe. Chopping this shit down. This is the absolute truth, determination, decisive action, direct hit. synergy, harmonization, structural success, and resolution. Spirit's looking at it. So we're going to be going from collapse, instability, systemic failure, and rupture to synergy, harmonization, structural success, and resolution. Okay? Yeah. The map is the train station, the cypress tree roots. Cypress tree roots, I think it has something to do with death. Isn't that what the cypress tree, that's a tree in cemeteries, right? Goodness gracious, come on. Okay. Yeah, the grand courthouse is this case file is closed. Order restored, integrity, illumination. There's been this trial. Some people. Yeah. Past due notices for this failure of vision, rashness, miscalculation, stubbornness, warrants signed, destabilizing, loss of assets, bankruptcy, vulnerability. Due to this clouded judgment, short-sightedness, and false intuition. People being drunkards, shit's going in the trash. Those falling from grace. Yeah. Alright. Alright, anything else you want to talk about here, Spirit? I was just drawing this deck here. Oh my god. My hair is like driving me nuts. Okay. Keeps like hanging from my glasses and stuff, and it's like all over the place. I'm like shedding. That could be a message. Shedding of old shit that nobody wants. I mean, I want my hair to put, that's not what I'm saying, okay? Let's see. So we're holding on to something here. An injustice that needs to be addressed. You're ready to start, though, addressing this. You know the way. It involves a bond that is strong. The sacred bonds. Who's this bond between, Spirit? Somebody in your family. Could also be somebody you're in a sexual relationship with, or somebody that you're in love with. We got Aquarius, Gemini, and Cancer here. Communication, family, humanitarian. We got Pluto in reverse. Virgo, Sagittarius, Leo. Alright, so what else? You're holding on to something heavy. Again, with the holding on. Yeah, it's this injustice. You're holding on to something heavy. You're resisting an ego death. That could be what the Leo energy is talking about in the 5th house. Yeah, because they're not in the upright position, so... Yeah, you're resisting necessary change. Fear is distorting perception. You're lost in it, seek support, okay? A masculine wound needs attention. That could be this King of Clubs. Someone is twisting the truth. You need to create a backup plan. Something still controls you. There's some type of fucked up contract here. Let's see what these fears are going on here about. The fears that are controlling this King of Clubs, that is preventing the collective from receiving its treasure that's well earned. Volcanoes. You should be afraid of volcanoes. Maybe you might want to... It was in reverse though. Maybe they're not afraid of them. They should be. Driving under a height limit bar. Beards. Fear in reverse. The number 13. The number 13 is the death card in the tarot. Number 4, 3 plus 1 is 4, which is the Emperor, which makes sense for this energy, right? That has all this power. Driving under a height limit bar. Beards. They're not afraid of death. They're not afraid of death. They're not afraid of volcanoes. I've been getting a lot of intuitive hits about the Yellowstone, and then somebody in the comments on like Ishmael Perez's YouTube, I think it was like his last video about what was it? Tartaria. He was talking about he was talking about Tartaria, and somebody in the comments at the very end said, on the live chat, said something about, can we pray to Yellowstone? And I was like, and it's weird because I just ordered yellow jade stones to replace in my Ankh necklace because I don't like the stone that's in there because it's like ghetto. And for other reasons as well. If you've been following along, there's a whole thing with the Yellowstone during 3 years ago, or it's like 4 years ago now. But, yeah, Yellowstone's associated with, like, Jupiter energy, and then we got the Yellowstone volcano, which if that goes off, it's all fucking over for everybody, right? So basically what I'm getting here is this person doesn't give a shit, and they're like, I don't care, like, I'm not afraid of death. Driving under a height limit bar and beards, though? So they're like shallow or something. Let's see. Maybe they're afraid of, maybe they have like Napoleon complex or whatever. They can't grow a beard. Maybe they're like short as well. Or they just feel inadequate because of whatever from their past that's holding them back that was being talked about. Politicians unable to move. Unable to move. It's freaking hot in here. Hold on, I gotta adjust the temperature. All right, so maybe this, whoever this is, they feel like they can't move. They're being, the person on this card, they're covering their mouth, like they can't speak. Maybe they feel like they can't. Aries sideways. Mars and 6th house over the number 13. Aries sideways over fear. And we got Gemini there, Cancer. I don't know. Like about taking action, plans. Okay, regarding what? 5th house love, Venus. Venus in the block position. 5th house upright over number 13 in the death. We got Taurus in the block position. Leo in the block position. Aries reverse and Capricorn sideways. On top of volcanoes. So there's this Taurus that's like blocking it. That's what okay. There's this Taurus that's blocking the volcanoes from being, that's why they're not afraid of the volcano. Ooh. Funeral homes just landed on top of politicians in the apocalypse. Sideways. Diagonal. It's like diagonal. Okay. Cemeteries. Just landed on the pick a deck. Let's see. What do you guys say about this, Spirit? We got the Sims 4 aspiration traits cards. That just seems very random, but okay. We'll see. Collector in reverse. Automatic boost to the rarity of any found object in the world, including fish, gems, and seeds. In reverse. Like itchy AF. Okay. I don't even know what that means. Like, it's collecting what? Party animal in reverse and proper in reverse. So these people that like to collect things that they probably shouldn't be collecting, like cemeteries, like deaths, killing, like people that they're unaliving. Yeah, it's not proper for them to be throwing parties about this. They unalive like whoever they want, and then they just, you know, oh wow. Holes and falling through a hole in a frozen lake. And going bald. Frozen lakes making me think of Lady of the Lake energy. If you've been following along, they drained the lake in my father's community, which, if someone drains a lake, it can, spiritually speaking, strip the powers of anybody that's attached to the lake, as well as like the water nymph spirits and stuff like that can actually kill them. So to me, because we were talking earlier about this stagnation energy, they're blocking everything. Falling through a hole in a frozen lake. So, going back to the main point of this, determine correct strategy and contingency plans moving forward, there's a hole in their plan. They may think they have it all mapped out, but there's a hole in their plan. Illusions are breaking, yeah. That's the hole. They can't hold up these illusions forever. You just can't, like I said with the door analogy and the tsunami, you just can't. Mask fall away. Let my true face rise. Authenticity. You're moving with purpose. The collective's moving forward with purpose. Oh. You're breaking free. You're ready to begin. And you're aligned with your soul. Feather, weigh my heart, reveal what is true. Seeing through the manipulation, telling the truth is clear. The truth is clear about this parasite king that's been stealing all of the blessings for the collective, that's been preventing this new earth from rising to where we can all live self-sustainably and in sync with nature and in harmony. They've just been blocking it nonstop and just poisoning everybody and doing horrible shit to people. It's like beyond ridiculous. Like, why do they even want to do that? I don't know. Like, it's so stupid. Oh, and then this whole, I want to say about this whole lettuce thing. So, I'm an investigative martyr in human design, both Vedically and tropically. That's my profile type or whatever. So, my whole life, like, and I definitely resonate with that. Like, my whole life, I've just always, like, kind of thrown myself into the fire. See what happens. And this whole parasite thing with the food or whatever, I didn't intend to throw myself into the fire this time. I was just like, I needed lettuce because I was just trying to make a wrap. And so I got a thing of iceberg lettuce, right? And when I was going to clean it, there was like this white tiny speck that was like a cube, and it was like tiny, like the tip of a pen, and I was like, what the fuck is that? It looked like something very strange I've never seen before, like man-made. Washed it off. I washed the lettuce. Spirit told me you need to wash it again, but I was like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't listen. I ended up getting very ill. Not like I if you guys have been following along, I know I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but I hate being repetitive. But if you've been following along through all of my drama and all my weird stories, I explained how, like, for 5 years straight, I literally, like, had, like, really bad stomach problems to where it was like I was going to the bathroom, like, 5-6 times a day, and it was bad, okay? TMI, but, you know. So I've been through, like, way worse than whatever the fuck this shit was, but it was bad what happened. But all I did was I ate some ginger candies. I took 2 ginger, you know, like the gin ones, and I was fine. So anyone that's going through that shit, you can take some ginger candies and it can help you, because it makes me really sad to hear. I saw in the comments on something, somebody said their 2-year-old has been sick for weeks. But I do want to say, what I think is interesting with all of this is how it's lettuce, which is like a main staple for like vegetarians and vegans. And I had presented this whole, and I'm not saying it's related at all, or that anyone's even following this, but the doctrine of justice, what is it? The doctrine of revolution and I don't remember what it's called. I created it. I don't remember what it's called. I'm really great. Okay. But anyway. Oh wait. Doctrine of renewal and revolution. I don't fucking know. Anyways, it's supposed to be during Mercury retrograde, which we're going through right now, and one of the main things is to try to avoid eating meat and animal products, but it's not like, you know, strictly prohibited to eat them. It's just a guideline, and just says, like, you know, because the point of it is to try to get to not be in alignment with cruelty energies. And so I find it interesting. They're like clearly doing some shit, because maybe there are people that are actually doing it. They may not be doing it consciously, you know, like they may not be aware of like me or like what I wrote or anything like that, but on a like collective level, because like my main mission and my north node is Capricorn in the 11th house Vedically, and then tropically it's Aquarius in the 10th house, right? Yeah. So, you know I deeply resonate with that frequency of humanitarianism and the collective consciousness and stuff like that. So, you know, something I stand for, I feel like would like beacon out or whatever, like be a beacon and go out there. And I've seen it happen, like, you know, spirit or the universe, God, goddess, the undivided, showing me beneath the mask that they put over my eyes. And so anyway, I feel like people might have been following this, and then like the food industry was like losing sales, and then the people, like these disgusting mother effers that are feeding off of the corruption energy and the cruelty energy, they were not getting their quotas for the month or whatever, because people weren't feeding into all of that bullshit, right, as much. So they had to derive some kind of plan to spike all the vegetarian and vegan food, like, and get people to be like, oh no, I can't eat that. hopefully too many people didn't fall for that bullshit, but I mean, I feel it's definitely a test. They make it harder to follow it. It's already really hard to follow it in this society, especially in America, because everything's like, the food is absolutely horrible here. The choices are like very difficult because it's so overridden. What's the word? Like convoluted. It's so convoluted with shitty options. Okay, we'll just say that. So anyways, all right, anything else, Spirit, you want to talk about? Yeah, now my lungs are being attacked. It's just never ending. It's like, oh my god. But I guess something's happening here. So I mean, we got apocalypse, funeral homes, cemeteries, some volcanoes, Jesus, you know? Alright, yeah, I think that's it. You know what? I haven't pulled from this in a while. The Codex Moralis, since we're talking about identifying with the past, personality or whatever. So we got martial law in reverse. You may be accepting repression in exchange for perceived order. Emergency rules become permanent, erasing civil life and dissent. So there might be, some type of manipulation that's coming up here related to emergencies. That they're going to try to pull some shit again to take away more freedoms. Yeah. They just, in my personal life, they just took away more of my freedoms. So, let's see. The crown's burden in reverse. You may resent the cost of leadership while enjoying its benefits. Martyrdom narratives replace genuine accountability. Shadow reversal. Institutions glorify leadership while externalizing its consequences onto subordinates or civilians. If this was in the upright, leadership carries sacrifice, isolation, and moral weight. This card honors rulers who accept responsibility rather than privilege. So, somebody's a leader, they don't really want to be a leader. And, you may be remaining silent to protect... Oh, wait. Sometimes restraint and silence prevent escalation, but only when grounded in conscience, not fear. That could be the whole unable to move thing, holding the hand over the mouth. This leader is not speaking, thinking that they're preventing escalation, but that's only when it's grounded in conscience, not fear. They're not speaking due to fear. A boundary is breached that cannot be undone. Recognition forces moral reckoning. Yeah. Somebody here really needs to grow the fuck up and stop being a coward, okay? That's really the main message here. They're just trying to keep things the way they are. The way things are sucks. We need change. There needs to be transformation. There needs to be change, okay? You can't keep people stuck. You can't refuse them their blessings, their well-earned rewards. You can't just force people to suffer forever. That's not how shit is meant to function. That's like gonna cause the levee to break. Which, you know what? Like, if that's what it takes, I guess that's what it takes. Like, so we got here a Agathos Daemon, blessing, luck, protection, and guidance. A benevolent spirit supports your path. The Agathos Daemon is the good spirit, a guardian presence associated with prosperity, health, and wise counsel. When this card appears, unseen support is already in motion. Oh, thank you. Serpent, wine, household altars, good fortune, good spirit, walk with me in all things. Yeah, we need some backup here. The collective really needs some backup here because we just can't keep doing this. I read in a comment today, somebody said something about they're like their mission's been complete. They've done what they were supposed to do since they were like 53, and since then they've been getting tortured, and they're now like 60 something, like 67, I think they said. And I was like, what is this? 'Cause I don't know if it's just because you know how they have technology where they can read your thoughts and stuff, and then they have these bots that are like going on live chats and saying weird shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was literally just thinking about like, wow, like, you know, I feel like I conquered so much shit that I was struggling with that was like plaguing me for over decades. So hard, these battles that I've been fighting over the past 3 to 4 years alone, I've conquered so many fucking demons, and instead of getting any type of reward at all, I've gotten what has happened every single time in my life that I've ever tried to go on the straight and narrow path. Complete fucking backlash, and people trying to sabotage me and come up against me, which could also, you know, from what people have been saying, is also a sign that like that happens like right before you're about to cross a precipice or whatever. But like, you know, and then there's these people that are like, I've been fucking waiting for my ships to come in for over a decade, and you know, and they're still not coming in, and it's like, and bitch, I have the judgment channel, so motherfuckers can't say like, oh, you don't know, you can't say that you know better than blah blah blah. It's like, I have the judgment channel. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, my fucking discernment shit ain't perfect. Like, don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. But like, as far as like certain things go, like, I know what I fucking accomplished, and that shit was fucking insane. Okay. The golden thread: connection, guidance, destiny, and protection. A guiding force leads you through uncertainty. The golden thread is the lifeline through the labyrinth. The intuitive pull, the omen, the synchronicity that keeps you on your path. This card signals divine or demonic guidance. Again, with the guidance, we got Ariadne, who is the daughter of King Minos, who created the labyrinth, and then she's the twin sister of the Minotaur, right? She's the one that threw the thread to try to help somebody get through? I don't remember. Let the thread guide me safely onward. And then in the 13th gate cards, we had the thread, what was it? Where is it? That was like the main guidance there, was the thread. Let me see. Where is it? The oath thread. Bond, trust, unity, strengthening a relationship, reaffirming trust, repairing a bond, or recognizing who is truly loyal. Okay, that was another message I was given, was like, you know, being patient, first of all, is a lesson in its own right. You know, but sometimes with being patient, the reason why we're asked to be patient for our ships to come in or whatever, so to speak, okay, could be because there is a certain level of trust. This documentary on Jesus came on automatically the other day, which I never watch religious stuff like that. You know, I grew up around it heavily. I'm very familiar with all of it, and I always like had a deep affinity for Jesus and his teachings. So I watched it. I enjoyed watching it, minus the parts where he was getting tortured and stuff. That was not something I enjoy watching at all. But anyways, one of the main things was like, you know, one of the main themes is all these people that don't believe in him, and essentially it's like this test from the Most High, or from the universe, from the undivided, using Jesus as this tool of judgment, of testing others' worth, their readiness to receive blessings, to level up, right? And a lot of times it's like people see this person riding a wave, right? And they're like, ooh, I want to look at them riding this wave. I want to join in or whatever. And then the wave crashes and then everybody just scatters because they're like, oh, they're not that good or whatever. Like, they're not what I thought they were. And they just leave. And then that person rides the wave again, and that time they land it and there's no one there. Or maybe there's like one person, right, that stood anyway. And that's the one person that like was there when the wave crashed the first time, and they picked up the board and they were like, hey buddy, here you go, and they like helped them bandage up their leg that they got cut on some coral or whatever, you know. So there's definitely something there with that, I feel like, because that message was given to me pretty heavily. But you know, it's extremely frustrating. Yeah, there's something like a vow is broken or needs reevaluation. Trusting the journey, you're breaking free. And you have an exit. Now there's an exit with what I just said. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna leave the message there. I think that's pretty good. Let's do some fortunes here. Alright, pick a number through 1 through 5. Pause the video if you need a moment to decide. Number 1, will you have all the fun? Today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday. Alright, so maybe something's... I don't know, you're gonna have to think about that one. That's like a layered message there. Number 2, what it do, number 2? The best times of your life have not yet been lived. Okay, so yeah, there's like this energy here of like brighter things to come. Failure is the mother of success. Life's most memorable moments are often unforeseen. I just got these fortunes the other day, this one right here, and I got it twice, so that's interesting, right? Alright, number 3, what it be, number 3? The thing in us that we fear just wants our love. Maybe you're this king of clubs in reverse. Whatever it is you're struggling with that you fear so much is a part of you that needs to be loved. Or a part of the outside world that needs to be loved. Number 4, what doth spirits implore? I don't know. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I like that. It's nice. Nice message. So. Number 5. What do you need to stay alive? Number 5. If your friend wants to learn to drive, don't stand in the way. Interesting. Alright, so that's the messages I have for you. And there's something here about somebody thinking they know someone, but they really have no idea. In reverse. So you do know someone. You do know yourself. Or you know someone. Put the pieces where they fit for you, okay? That was confirmation for somebody. Alright? Yeah, truth about yourself comes to light. Accountability becomes liberation. Yep. Alright, guys. That is the message. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!